right.
Oh, I hit it. Don't you worry.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I synced it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Geekiverse's E3 coverage 2019. I'm Josiah Leroy. With me, Jeff Pavlak.
Hey.
And Mr. John Fick.
Thank you for having me.
So, we just saw Bethesda's E3 press conference, Bethesda's showcase, if you will. Overall, we're going to go over just some quick impressions of the conference. Start with Jeff. First thoughts.
I really liked it. You know, for a single dev, I thought they knocked it out of the park.
I think so, too.
You can't expect them to have the same breadth of content as, like, say, a Sony, a Nintendo, or a Microsoft. But, you know, for the second year in a row now, I thought Bethesda did a really, really good job from the production value of their conference, the content that they showed off. I really enjoyed this one.
John, what did you say? You said it's all about expectation.
Expectations, yeah. I feel like this is the opposite of what we expected or what we got with the Microsoft conference. Microsoft was all expectation. They had the ball was in their court, and we felt that they didn't drop the ball. It just wasn't what it could have been. Exact opposite with Bethesda. And they're coming off of maybe their first real blunder in the last decade, and maybe more so, with Fallout 76. And we didn't expect much from this conference, and they handled it well. They talked about it, and they showed us some cool new games, man.
There's always, I feel like, a lot of expectations for Microsoft, and rightfully so.
Sure.
But Bethesda was one I didn't have a lot of expectations going into. I think we knew for the most part what we were going to be seeing, and there were a handful of things that were genuine surprises.
Yeah.
Things that did not leak, I think.
Not that I know of, yeah. Either of those two new IP that we saw, I didn't
know a thing about them either.
Same.
So why don't we start there? Shinji Mikami, so Evil Within franchise, right?
Yeah.
Ghostwire, a new IP here. You see definitely some influence from his past work with those two titles. What do we think of that trailer? This was a surprise to me.
I was super impressed by that.
Very
I
cool.
thought that trailer was phenomenal.
Yep. Vibes.
Yeah, that's a game I'm excited for, despite not having played either of the two Evil Within games.
I hopped in a little bit, but I didn't see him through. But same. The game looked really cool.
We also saw a free-to-play game, Commander Keen. So they kind of said based on what you would imagine a Saturday morning cartoon to be.
For sure.
That one looked really intriguing to me.
It's apparently a revival of an old 80s IP from Bethesda. I'm definitely not familiar with it, but yeah.
I had never heard of it.
Me either.
Never seen any of it.
They're going all in on mobile. I mean, ever since Fallout 76, they dropped that. I think it was 2015. They just dropped it day and date. They were super successful with it, and they're still doing well. So
Fallout Shelter.
That's what I meant.
Fallout
Shelter, yes.
So they had some impressive numbers on how many downloads they've had between that and now Elder Scrolls Mobile.
Yeah, the Elder Scrolls Blades, and that's only been in early access. That actually it comes out today.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Legends has been very successful though too.
Okay,
basically Hearthstone
that's
for
the card
Elder
one,
Scrolls.
right?
Yep, that's the card. Basically Hearthstone for Elder Scrolls, but well received critically and by the fans as well.
Yeah. So Elder Scrolls Blades coming to Switch as well.
Yeah, November.
Which is
free to play.
Very cool.
I like it.
Yep.
Just more emphasis on the Switch and Bethesda's commitment to it.
For sure.
Honestly.
Yeah, and it still blows my mind given for how long Nintendo and Bethesda kind of, proverbially, butt heads, just completely different design philosophies. And now you see Bethesda being one of the leading third-party developers. Arguably,
for sure.
For the Switch.
They did announce it was cross progression too. So if you start playing on mobile tonight, you can carry your stuff over to Switch in November. So cool.
Bethesda or Nintendo essentially provided the hardware for them at a power that was, I guess, acceptable to them.
Yeah.
And here we are. And the titles have kept coming.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to be slowing down.
Yeah, it's not just their smaller scale games.
No.
We're getting Youngblood. We're getting Doom Eternal.
Day and date.
Right.
That's crazy.
So we didn't know what the Fallout 76 discussion was going to look like here. A rocky launch, to say the least. Not a well-received game in terms of Bethesda releases. Typically, they're highly lauded, very well praised, critically acclaimed. Fallout 76 was the oddball there. However, they kind of started the show with it. Even their montage said, "We hear you. We hear the good. We hear the bad."
Yeah,
to paraphrase, I liked it. I like what they did. So they acknowledged Fallout 76 to a point without going too far down the rabbit hole, and then they switched to Blades, and then back to Fallout 76
with new content. I think hearing it from Todd Howard was huge. I mean, he's a guy that he's very confident. I mean, he's got a great track record. He's exuded nothing but confidence on the stage, and to see a guy like that come out and be like, "Hey, man, we messed up. This game wasn't good at launch. It had problems. We know that." His demeanor, the way he spoke about it, it went a long way, I think.
They're not completely transparent, but there is a self-awareness to their presentations
Sure.
that's definitely more genuine than I feel like a lot of the other press conferences are.
No doubt.
They're a little more open and
Yeah,
more
I mean,
realistic.
They're still a big corporation with secrets planted close to
Right.
the chest, but you get a little bit of that. Hey, we care, man.
Yeah.
Would you say that this was overall confident but not arrogant?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's a good way to describe
some
it.
companies may have come out and not saying they had to acknowledge Fallout 76, but some companies may have gone too far the other way with it and said, "Oh man, we really screwed up Fallout 76."
Yeah.
But that's not a good look either.
Sure, of
So
course
I
not.
think they did a good job saying, "Hey, yeah, we messed up a little bit, but here's how we're going to fix it."
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, they're definitely dedicated to enhancing and improving that ongoing community. Like they're not just leaving it to die.
Yeah, people are still playing the game.
Right. They are
Yeah.
trying to make it a robust, active online community. So I'll give them credit for that.
Appreciate that.
June 10th through 17th, their Fallout 76 is free for everybody to
Yeah.
try, which I think is awesome. It's something I may even dive into just to get a taste of it. But there's two bits of content coming out: Wastelanders and then Nuclear Winter.
Yeah.
So Nuclear Winter is the Battle Royale mode,
Yep. Which I think is huge. I think a Battle Royale.
Fallout. That's crazy.
I mean, it's 2019. If you don't have a Battle Royale, is it really making
Yeah, I know,
this
right?
way? But no, it's huge. I mean, especially with the free-to-play weekend or the free-to-play situation, there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of streamers, a lot of people hopping in to see what it's all about. I mean, we have a Fallout Battle Royale. You're going to get a lot of views on Twitch, and you're going to get a lot of people trying it out for free.
It's a good business move.
It's smart. I mean, if it's bad, it might backfire, but if it's good, it'll play out well.
Yeah, I agree on that. Wastelanders, one of the big things they touted, in addition to more story content, was NPCs.
Yeah.
Basically, so non-human NPCs, and it's funny because it's like kind of coming full circle.
Yeah.
Like nobody wanted, almost it felt like, not nobody, but you know what I'm saying. We weren't asking for a game like Fallout 76.
Sure, we weren't. Nobody
And
was.
then
No, you can say nobody. Nobody wanted it.
It came around, and now it's like we're going back to what you loved with
Yeah.
Fallout 4.
It's just Fallout 4, but online now.
So overall, we think that was handled in a pretty good way. I appreciate the
That's
free
true.
content. It's all
Of course.
free.
Absolutely.
What else can you ask for? They're not going to give you money back. That'd be stupid.
Yeah.
We get a really, really nice cinematic trailer for Elder Scrolls Online.
That was incredibly done. That
Elsewhere?
was movie quality like animation. That was
You know,
captivating.
I want to know what their budgets are for some of these.
Yeah, for like a
these
3-minute
cutscenes and stuff.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long trailer. There was no 60-second
No.
cinematic there.
That was good looking.
Either of you jumped into ESO online? Or
No.
ESO?
I have not. No.
I know a few of our past colleagues have done so. It's not for me, but it's a big community.
Yeah, for sure.
So good for them. We talked about Commander Keen, Elder Scrolls Legends. Touched on a little bit. Any reaction outside of what we already knew for that?
Yeah, nothing for me. Not my cup of tea. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. This one was exciting for me. Rage 2 is a game that I've been meaning to jump into.
Same.
Adam and I played it last E3, at E3, loved it. It's a blast. It's everything that you see on the trailers. It's colorful. It's crazy. This seems to get only crazier with the Rise of the Ghost DLC.
Yeah.
So it really just, to put it best, it looks like it's more Rage 2.
What more do you want?
Nothing crazy. More mechs. More. I love the trailer presentation, by the way.
Oh my
Bethesda
God.
does the best trailer
The
reveals.
music selection, man, they're incredible.
It was Fallout reminiscent, where it's kind of like old school classic, maybe early 20th century. I don't know, happy-go-lucky feel.
Sure.
And then
Like
it's
almost like a BioShock vibe. Like
BioShock is more so what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
actually. And then you get there and you're like, oh my gosh, no, this is hell.
This is yeah.
And that's I love where that went. So Rage 2, I've got to jump in, and already getting DLC. It's selling well, it's doing well critically. Is good to see for a game that probably, again, nobody asked for.
For sure.
So there's that. So we also got a little bit of news. We're getting Wolfenstein VR.
Yeah.
VR's never been my forte, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate that it's still going on.
Same.
We're getting these new releases. Bethesda, we talked about how big they are with mobile and Switch. Equally big proponent of VR.
Sure.
I'd say we've gotten Elder Scrolls, Fallout. Now we're getting this here.
Skyrim, right? Skyrim,
Yeah, Doom, right?
Doom had like not the whole game, but like a specific deep VR title. I think,
There was an
right?
experience,
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly. Yeah.
We also saw a new story-based trailer for Young Blood,
Yep.
which we already know is coming out July 26th. I think I'm going to get that deluxe edition because I want to play with Jeff here. But co-op, honestly, this is the first time I think we've seen actually like co-op gameplay.
Sure.
Seems like it's going to work really well.
Absolutely.
Because Wolfenstein is a crazy game, not to the effect that you may see in Doom, where the tempo is just beyond.
Yeah, it's not balls to the walls and that kind of.
Yeah. Exactly.
It does move fast though,
For sure.
so it'll be fun in co-op.
Makes you wonder if if Doom gets a third title, we're going far down the road here. They do some sort of co-op with that.
I'd love that.
Can you imagine that? Or
I
maybe
mean,
they
Bouncing bodies back and forth.
Yeah.
the new multiplayer mode they showed off for Doom Eternal maybe
Oh yeah.
foreshadows that.
Sure.
So
But
before
we'll get to that.
we'll get to Doom here shortly. We'll touch on Arcane Studios, so creators of Dishonored.
Yeah.
Didn't realize they have 2 studios. So they
I
could be
didn't either. I'm not gonna lie.
something we learned tonight, but Deathloop. So another kind of time dynamic game that looks gorgeous. It looks awesome, and it's kind of like this modern day assassin game. Like think about like John Wick and the order that he's in.
Yeah.
I think almost that's kind of where this influence comes from.
It's a story of 2 assassins, so I wonder how that's going to play out story wise. But it looked really cool.
Yeah, that's a new IP. Did not see coming. Very excited about that one.
For sure.
What Bethesda did very well that I was hoping Microsoft would do a bit, we talked about, is they introduced kind of I don't know how to say it. It's an aspect that's going to help make streaming better.
Yeah. What was that called again?
So they called it Orion.
Orion.
Yeah, there it was, yeah.
It's going to effectively make all streaming better. They mentioned specifically Google Stadia, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah.
But it's going to basically it's going to take less power to produce. It's going to be a faster, more cost-effective way to stream for the gamer and the developer. And publisher in that case. And then also it's going to be, what did they say? It's going to take up, you'll notice less latency and it will take up less bandwidth.
So it seems like it's a compression technology.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
And
They didn't
I'm
really get into details. They just kind of gave us the benefits, not really the features.
I'm interested to see where that goes. We may never hear about it again. It may just be one of those
back-end
behind the
thing?
scenes things where
Sure.
they can say, hey, we did this first.
For sure.
Kind of like they were doing throughout the show.
Yeah. So I mean, you might notice in the future when you're playing Stadia that your Bethesda games just run better. You know.
That's very possible. Or
And-
whoever wants to pay for it.
Anything that kills lag online,
Exactly.
go for it.
Yep. For sure.
And what a
Go
great
for it.
sell that the bandwidth is going to be less necessary because everything's streaming, right?
Sure.
In our house now, my wife's watching Netflix. We were streaming the E3 press conference. We were each writing, all 3 of us were writing articles,
Yeah.
looking for videos. That's a lot.
Absolutely.
And I think that's great. The biggest thing here, I think, probably for all 3 of us, Doom Eternal.
Yo.
Man, they ended the show with that. We did get the release date about a month later than I thought,
Yeah, you
but
said October, right?
yeah, I thought maybe a week before Call of Duty.
Sure.
So we got November 26th?
22nd.
22nd. That's a good time frame, honestly.
Absolutely.
So also
Holiday
a week
game.
after Star Wars.
Yeah.
This fall is shaping up to be awesome again, as it always is, but a little later in the year than usual.
Sure.
So Doom Eternal, first thoughts here from what we saw. We got the multiplayer mode, which I could take or leave, but the single player campaign. What do we think?
I think it looks fantastic.
Just
Give me more of the same.
Give me more Doom.
Yeah.
Just give me more Doom.
Yeah.
I know you guys laughed when I said this is like Mario, but what I was really trying to convey,
The platformer,
what
yeah.
I was really trying to convey there was that sequence of really fast-paced platforming. That's awesome,
Yeah.
and you don't
I
see
don't
that.
remember a lot of that in the first one. I think there was something.
You don't see that in like any first-person shooter.
Sure.
So just that mix of gameplay between the breakneck pace of the combat and now platforming, bring it on, man. This
Very
looks phenomenal.
That's a game I scored a 9 out of 10, I believe, when it came out. I may have scored it higher.
very
in hindsight.
deserving.
Absolutely.
Very deserving score.
That is a game that is full of just the perfect balance of challenge and success. I think there's these patterns that you got to figure out. There's a frustration level, but it's never enough, or it wasn't enough for me to put the game down.
It's one of the most satisfying first person single player shooters. Like
Yeah.
when you finish a sequence and you just look around you and just see bodies and you're like, yeah, all right.
You feel like you're catching your breath.
Absolutely.
And maybe give your thumbs a rest. Like, so that is also coming out. So PS4, Xbox One, PC, I believe they said, and
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah,
So Switch day one.
Everything,
That's crazy.
anything, and everything.
I love it. Love
So-
the support for Switch.
That could be maybe king of the holiday.
I kind of
Aside-
absolutely.
And you got Call of Duty. It's always a big beast to battle with, but no, that's
That's the other.
just because of the amount of platforms it's going to be on.
for sure.
That's the other big shooter. What other big shooters are coming out?
Hey, you don't have a Battlefield this year. I mean, Call of Duty's your only like online focused shooter that's going to sell a ton, but
There's no Titanfall.
no Titanfall. Apex is going strong there.
Pokemon is before it, but different
market.
Yeah, different market.
Yeah.
Pokemon might keep me from playing Doom right away.
It honestly might too, but I will still try and get to Eternal because this looks awesome.
They took a risk with Doom 2016, and it paid off big time because it is now one of their biggest franchises. Again, as it kind of been rebooted
Reborn.
here. So wrapping up here, give me just again your closing thoughts on what went well, what maybe didn't go well, if anything, and then just give me a letter grade. Give me what your favorite part of the show was. I know I'm throwing a lot at you there.
Okay, I'll go first then. I can do this, I think. Favorite part of the show is probably Ghostwire. Really, really impressed by that debut.
I knew that would be it for you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Letter grade, I could give that like an A-, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, in terms of what you can reasonably expect from a single developer, I think Bethesda did a really, really good job this year. I think they delivered exactly what we can reasonably expect from a company of their size.
Yeah.
For a single press conference.
No doubt.
John.
Yeah, top level. I'd go B+ for the same reasons, but that scores more of a B+ in my mind.
Fair
Awesome, awesome press conference. More than I expected. No lulls, just very, very well paced. I really appreciate that about a press conference.
They flow so well.
Pace it well. I'm all about it. Score, yeah, B+. Favorite moment, I think Deathloop was my favorite surprise.
Okay.
That game looks sweet. That cinematic trailer had me really interested, and yeah.
So the new IPs are kind
New
of
IP. Give me new IP.
big with us, yeah.
Man. Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree on that with the new IPs. I would give them an A-. I thought, again, expectations may factor into this, but all things considered, very, very consistent conference. And in the in-between phases, between announcements, their montage with
Dev Diaries.
Yeah. And fans just talking about how much they love Bethesda. Thought that was good. Again, confident, not arrogant. Same thing there is what I kind of picked up on. So their tone is very good.
Yeah.
They're professional yet genuine. My favorite moment may have been the Rage 2 DLC, even though that's DLC I'm not usually big on.
And you haven't played the main game yet
I haven't played the main game, but
there's a lot, though.
There's something about Rage 2 that is sucking me in. Clearly, I still have to go buy it.
Yeah.
Well,
however,
you demoed it pretty extensively last E3, correct?
it did.
Right.
Yeah. So
played it.
for what it's worth, sign me up. But other than that, I've already been hooked for Wolfenstein Youngblood, already hooked for Doom Eternal, and if not more after seeing this conference. So Bethesda, really no complaints there, and I don't think there was much more that I could have wanted from it.
I mean, I say we could have wanted maybe the Elder Scrolls and
Starfield.
Starfield. They said that wasn't going to be there, so they set the expectations properly. So what more can we ask for?
Exactly. Had they not said something, maybe that changes things.
Sure.
So we want to hear from you, viewer. Tell us what you thought of the Bethesda conference. Tell us what you thought of the Microsoft conference. Leave your letter grade in the comments below. We've got a lot of E3 coverage coming for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we've got 2 press conferences. We've got Ubisoft. And we've got Square Enix. So if you're a Marvel fan, tune into that. You are going to enjoy a lot of what they're showing. But for Jeff, for John, I'm Josiah. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.